Everybody, Jim Stevens and Mark Torres with you here at the 2024 ITSF Tornado World Series event here in Dallas, Texas. And welcome to everybody watching on Twitch and YouTube. As we are about to bring you some action from women's doubles, the women's doubles final.
Jim, this is spectacular. We've had a amazing run of incredible foosball action, 5 qualifying rounds, elimination rounds.
Yep.
We've seen Isabel and Iveta go 5 games with an unknown property from Argentina and a really good, solid, probably expert-level woman player named Vera from Russia via California. But what we didn't see what we didn't see in our final pit area between the women players were high-quality, master-level experienced players, champions, compete against each other. And would you agree that's what we're about to see right now?
We're coming with that right now as we're going to bring you the final, and we get a chance to see the great Sullivan Rue, the legendary player out of Crowley, Louisiana, a member of that Rue family. We're going to get a chance to see her and Hannah Smith, maybe the best team in the history of women's table soccer on Tornado, at least over the last few years. They've won, I think, 3 world championships together. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
If we're talking about the story, right, so Sullivan Rue is the daughter of the great Terry Rue, second-generation foozer. When you're a second-generation foozer, you get fundamentals and technique and all these skill sets that happen as soon as you start touching a table. And guess what? Isabel Stelly, the daughter of Randall Stelly, a good high-level expert player, all the skill set. And so her companion right now is Brandon Munoz. We get Iveta Moore, who's married to Ryan Moore. You get all the and Hannah Smith, who's a Division I softball player.
Yep.
So you get all these high-level competitors ready to face each other off right now. Table number 1 in the finals of the Classic Women's Doubles. Jim, can you tell us a little bit about what Classic Doubles is?
Well, Classic Doubles, of course, you have your traditional doubles play, which will take place on Sunday, where anything goes. Basically, you can shoot snake shots. The ball, of course, starts on the 5 row, but here in Classic Doubles, no snake shots allowed, which is kind of a throwback to 30, 40 years ago on the American Foosball Tour. And of course, the ball starts after each goal back in the goalie position, which I think probably traditionally is something that we can go back and look at in historic European style foosball.
There we're going. You hear the calling, the song from the World Cup, ITSF. This is the music that leads into a final championship round. Everyone who's been to an ITSF championship knows this music. Let's just listen to it a second as we lead into the introduction for these.
I should be doing the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to present. Yeah, I should have a... Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to decide who will be the 2024 ITSF Tornado World Series Classic Women's Doubles Champions. And let's introduce the players. On the left side of the table, please welcome the forward, Iveta Moore. And the goalie, Isabel Stelly. And on the right side, the forward, Sullivan Rue. And her goalie, Hannah Smith, best 3 games out of 5 for the championship. Good luck, players.
That was awesome. That was so good. That was so
Just hand me a microphone.
Dude, it was like that moment in Anchorman where
Anchorman again.
No, Anchorman. In Old School, where Will Ferrell gets possessed.
There you see, Iveta Mora and Isabel Stelly on the left. You see Sullivan Rue and Hannah Smith on the right. Best 3 games out of 5. And this should be a good one. It's the Classic Women's Doubles final. Women's Doubles, of course, will also take place Sundays, regular women's doubles. And the only differences here, Mark, are that you can't shoot snake shots, and the ball will start off on the 2 rod, opening up each ball. Here's Iveta Moore.
So we've seen Iveta and Isabel. We haven't seen much of Sully and Hannah. Now, I've watched them play in qualifying rounds, but I have not watched them play since then.
But this is a great team. This is a world championship team on Tornado. Maybe the best team on Tornado. One of the best teams all time on Tornado. And so it's going to be tough. Really, Yvette Moore and Isabel Stelly are going to have to play almost mistake-free foosball in order to stay in this one, because Hannah can do it from goal. And, of course, Sullivan Rue, the phenom out of Crowley, Louisiana, can do it at forward. Another chance here for Moore.
Now, when you get to higher level foosball play, the things that came easy in one match are not so easy at all. So the things that might have been weaknesses with Vera and Diana,
Yeah.
those things they're not the same. Like the recoveries, the quick responses, the reaction times, all those things elevate in microseconds, which matter in these matches, right?
And the advantage here, certainly Sullivan Rue does not have to change her game at all. She is not a snake shooter. It's always the push shot with Sully. And that great push shot also available to her here in Classic, and it's 2-0.
Man, I love watching her shoot,
Yeah.
dude. It's just so.
Where does she generate that power from, right?
It's from years of muscle memory.
Beautiful bank off the
Nice.
inside wall by Stelly.
And that whole play just elevates. Everything just comes up a level, and it's so fun to watch.
2-1 lead early on for Sullivan Rue and Hannah Smith. And again, foosball at the highest level, Mark, it's about options, it's about timing. It's really a high-speed chess game, as it's been called in the past, I think, by our good friend, the Hall of Famer Ken Allwell.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. Of course, you've got to be quick, you got to be fast, you got to have great lateral speed, but you also got to be smart. You got to be strategic, and you got to set things up.
And if you're not playing a high-speed chess game, you haven't quite arrived yet where the highest players are playing,
Yeah.
right? Where the highest skilled level players
It
are playing.
has to be a chess game. And there's Yvette tying it up at 2 as she brings it across. Doesn't take much time, and then hits that long hole.
I see push kick long in chat.
Yeah.
Hello, push kick long. We are monitoring the chat now on Inside Foos.
Who the heck would be
.com.
who would be push kick long?
It could be anybody. It could be Thor Donovan. Probably not.
No.
But it could be.
He'd be pull kick long.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Push kick long would be.
Yeah.
Heck, would that be Jeep?
That'd be me.
Oh,
No,
no,
Jeep didn't
you.
have a long.
If you want to chat with us,
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
2-2 here in game number 1. This is Hannah. Hannah out of the state of Mississippi, and Mark mentioned it earlier. A really good softball player. And oftentimes,
And a
Mark,
gymnast, by the way. She was a gymnast. Boom.
again, the
3 in a
push
row.
shot from Sullivan Rue.
We talk about narratives, Jim. We've been talking about them the whole time. Now, Sully and Stelly are in the same area code.
Yeah.
So we don't know what these gals
There
have
has
in
to
their
be a
pockets.
little bit of a rivalry, doesn't
Not
there?
just
There
rivalry,
has to be.
what they have in their pockets, what they're willing to show each other and not show each other in anticipation of competing against each other.
Yeah.
And they've competed with each other. They've been on the same team. So you get all this kind of stuff. You got to kind of split hairs on it and see where they're really coming from.
Here's Yvette. Or we'll set up the pull shot against Hannah, and Hannah gets out there to make the block and take it away. And oftentimes in first games, and we see it a little bit here, no one really taking their time a whole lot. There's a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline flowing. Here's Rue.
Yeah, you can see that. I
And
love
the
that.
timeout called here.
Let me tell you what I love about that.
Yeah.
There was a little pensive kind of motion. There was almost kind of like a hesitation. And if it was me, I would have panicked and shot a 5-bar shot.
Yes, you
But
would
it's
have.
not me.
No.
She took the second. She goes, I recognize right now I'm not moving the ball the way I'm comfortable. She called the timeout.
Yeah.
And that's why.
That's just awareness. That's just experience.
Yeah.
If you don't want to learn more about Sullivan Rue, go download the movie Foosballers, folks, if you haven't seen it yet. A great documentary produced by Joe Hesslinga a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Sullivan Rue featured her story. I remember Sully, I basically remember when Sully was born. 21-ish years ago. 3-2 lead early on for Rue and Smith. Picked up here by Moore, and she's going to do a little house cleaning here. Clean off the ball.
We're going to try to monitor the chat also. We're at twitch.tv/InsideFoosTV as well. We don't know where you are, but if you want to kind of chat and ask
Yeah,
questions.
let us know where you are. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, anything else. We are an open book here at Inside Foos and Foos TV.
Mostly an open book.
Mostly, not entirely. Another chance here for Yvette Moore. And she finds that hole down the middle against Smith to make it 3-3. Watch here. She threw a fake in and then sends that one down the middle.
Beauty. Nice little split hole action.
Here's Hannah.
Short hole effort. Just
3-3 here in game number 1. Sent up the table by Smith on goal. Picked up here by Stelly. Isabel tried to hammer that bully bank off the inside wall. The loose ball picked up by Moore, who has a chance to give her team the lead. But there is Smith to block it and take it away. Oftentimes, Mark, this first game, kind of feeling out a little bit. Kind of trying some things out, kind of seeing where things are, what the tendencies are early on.
Or what may be a little different. It's not like they don't know each other, but just kind of like revisiting, refreshing, and kind of seeing timing and pacing and the nuanced stuff that you may not always be on top of.
Here's Rue.
Oh, boom.
And that's sent into the goal on that reaction play. Watch this as Iveta finds that far side.
Now, after crushing her first early long push shots, Stelly's been on the last few.
And that's where you kind of have to anticipate that if you're Sullivan Rue. You hit 3 in a row, and yes, you want to kind of stick with things that are working. But if you're scoring 3 in a row against a really good player on the opposite side of the table, maybe you look to go inside, maybe you look to go split. You just kind of have to have that self-awareness to do so. And certainly that young lady right there out of Louisiana does have that ability.
She's such an intense competitor, and she cares so much, and she has so much love and commitment that losses for her are really crushing. She does not like to lose, and I love that. It's admirable. It's actually adorable. But I don't want to see that affect her performance in the moment.
4-3 lead early on for Moore and Stelly, and here's Rue along that near wall.
Foos Matrix, I see you there. Thank you for appreciating the slow-mo replays we have.
And finding the straight hole is Sullivan to make it 4-4.
We have Foosball TV from Germany. You flew out here to do the production of this tournament, so we appreciate you. Thank you. We see your message going across both. I didn't know that. We see you on Twitch and Inside Foos, so I appreciate your comment.
Well, just on that particular topic, as we are even at 4 here, but replays for foosball are pretty necessary. And what I like about what Foos TV is doing, they're not just showing us from that same camera angle every time. They're showing us some different things, grips and different angles, and I really enjoy the replays from Foos TV, for sure. Here is Moore now with a chance to win game number 1, shooting against Smith, and able to get in the way and knock it down. That ball was not executed by Moore, but still had a chance to get in against Smith. Set up that table, beautiful angling pass. Rue there to pick it up, to set it up. Fake, and then stroke it home.
Wow, man.
Watch this.
Boom. Nice. Look at her celebrating. What a fireball. It's not just the hair. It's not the mane of red hair. She's a fireball, man. She's so passionate about it.
And looking for comments.
And unlike the match we saw prior, which was Stelly and Iveta versus Diana and Vera, this is more reflective of a higher level of play that's not going to be as polar. That's not to say there won't be a blowout, right?
Right.
I think we're going to see more
a little tighter,
right? A little tighter because there's more anticipation, there's more expectations of what the team could do. There's not really a surprise factor per se, right?
1-0 lead. It was a good opening game here in this women's classic doubles final, but it was Rue and Smith who came out on top. Bank attempt by Stelly. The rebound picked up here by Moore. And Iveta able to fire it home.
Hey, Jeff Guy, it was pretty badass. One thing we're talking about is at this high level of play, the narrative. What happens ball to ball, game to game, and the buildup that culminates in the later games with this level of skill.
Well, that's what makes it foosball interesting. Is each and every match is a short story or a novella in its own, where you have to kind of build the characters, you kind of build early on the themes, and then they change and evolve as the match goes on. They go up, they go down, and hopefully Mark and I are able to kind of describe that for you and bring that to you as well. So.
What you have, though, and I see Foos Matrix talking about it. Let's watch her for a second before I comment.
Sully. And she finds that tight straight hold to make it 1-1.
And now she's got her guessing. So that's the
Watch
dead bar.
this.
That's the post. And she could hit that with the man, a bumper on the wall. So
I think that was going in either way,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
You got to be, if you're going to do that to her, you should press
And
it.
the stuff here by Rue. It's 2-1. Watch this. Defensive goal from Sullivan Rue.
Oh, it's all working right now. And it's still only 2-1, but it's in the favor right now of Sully and Hannah.
Momentum on the right side of the table for sure. Still the men's classic doubles final to come after this one, folks. And that should be a lot of fun.
So Foos Matrix, when you talk about generating that kind of power and speed on a push shot, you're talking about someone who's been shooting that shot since diapers.
Yeah.
And so you get like Tiger Woods without
It is totally the Tiger Woods syndrome.
the muscle memory and it becomes unconscious.
There could be 100,000 push shots in her
Yeah,
history.
right.
That's the thing. And somehow she is able to generate that power. As Hannah gets a little laugh out of that one. But an excellent effort there from Yvette Moore to tie it up at 2. Remember, if you're watching at YouTube or Twitch, we're going to be here all weekend, folks. If you want to watch every match here on table number 1 all weekend long, head over to InsideFoods.com and get your subscription. And there is Rue again, hammering it home. Playing with great confidence right now, Sully to that long hole.
Well, shout out to Jenny in Germany who's watching. I don't know what time it is over there.
My goodness.
Jenny, hello. Thank you for watching. This is an incredible match to stay awake for.
That one set up the table, picked off here by Moore.
I didn't ask Julian if you guys were still dating. I thought you might have left him by now, but it seems like you're still together. So
Julian's a heck of a guy,
thank you
Jenny.
for staying with Julian.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
He's worth it. He is worth it. And that one's going to rattle in
Boom.
to make it 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
And that was fortunate because her man was just too far back by a millimeter. A little bit more forward, and she could tell.
And right now, Sullivan Rue, Hannah Smith in control here in game number 1. Up a game, up 4-2 here in the second. That one sent towards the goal by Sully.
Hello, Peru. Thank you for watching. I can't pronounce that because I'm blind and I'm publicly educated from California.
It's Diego. It's Diego. Seta, say.
So this is shaping. Okay, look, I might have misspoke.
Yeah, as you often do.
I make stuff up.
Yep.
Jim, don't embarrass me.
I will
in
not.
public.
Not again.
But that was a
Won't
5-2 shellacking, and we don't know if we're going to see that thing where Sullivan and Hannah just hit another gear. They all, Yvette traditionally also, I think, shoots a pull shot. I don't know how often she shoots a roller. So you can't really look at, if she had her rollover, would this be a tighter match? You just got Sullivan and Hannah who can hit another gear.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about Hannah and Sullivan, who were in the finals at the World Cup multi-table championship in Nantes, France a year ago. Yeah. So they're no joke. They're like an amazing.
This is one of the
World
best
Cup
teams in foosball. One of the best teams in the history of tornado foosball. And again, a lot of it's just the table time. Sully is going to pick up the loose balls because of the amount of time she spends on a table. Her execution percentage, there it is, loose ball. Execution percentage is always going to be there. It's 1-0.
Maybe it was high hopes, but we're seeing Sullivan hit that gear she can hit. If Sullivan starts, Yvette saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here.
We do see a switch here. Isabel Stelly moving to forward. Yvette Moore back to goal. And that is not really a loss. Both these players are very versatile. Pass up that table by Hannah.
She's asking if she's
for a jar.
I don't know.
Give it to her on the 5 here, I think is the call. Yeah, here this is a compromise where I think Stelly should take it on the 5. Rather, Sully should take it on the 5. Let's see what happens.
I would trust Sully in any situation. Maybe slightly less than Terry. I think Terry's an actual angel.
Yeah.
I think Sully's kind of like most.
An angel in, let's watch this.
Angel in human form.
A little bit of a movement there, for sure. I think a ref probably calls that, probably awards it to Sully.
Diego, what's up, dude? Filthy Long, what up? You're welcome, brother. Trying to entertain here.
That one sent up the table. Picked off by Stelly in that forward position. Beautiful pass here by Isabel.
I don't think I've seen her pull shot.
And long pull shot, Hannah looking for it. I think you can kind of always predict that a player, 9 times out of 10, is going to shoot a long that first time they get it, especially after switching from goal. Here's Stelly, another really practiced player who does spend a lot of time on a table and, of course, gets to train against one of the great players in the world and multiple world champion on Tornado, Brandon Munoz.
And has Sully and Terry and others in her backyard, right? So,
Louisiana's tough. It's a really strong foosball area. But again, the long pull shot, Hannah not giving it to her. Picked up here by Rue, who sticks it through that near lane. Sets it up. Try to go straight. That's a good pick. Even if you don't make that, at least it's keeping the defender honest. Again, Rue. 3 blocks in a row, but another opportunity here for Sully. Give her 4 chances. She's generally going to score. She's get another one here. And she'll call
give her 5 and she calls a timeout. Give her 5 and she calls her a timeout. I've seen Sully, I won't say names to not embarrass anyone, but I've seen Sully wipe the floor in singles with the number 2 Tornado player in the world. It's to wipe the floor. So she can get in freight train mode and just run your ass over like you're not even there.
Yep, she can.
Yeah.
Moore slides that one just wide of the goal. There's Stelly to pick up the rebound. 2-0 lead for Sullivan, Rue, and Hannah Smith. And there's Isabel Stelly
What I love
finding
about
that hole down the middle.
She shot the split. She shot the 3/4. You could tell she brought it to that short hole. That's poise, right? To anticipate Hannah's going to be on the long and to shoot that short hole.
Everyone sent up the table off a man, off another man, and in. Break there for Sullivan, Rue, and Hannah Smith. And we're tied up at 2 here in game number 3. And the pickup here again. The loose ball pickup by Rue, second to none in the women's division. She's able to set it up, fire it home to that long hole.
Look at her yelling. It's so fun to see someone get fired up after they score a point. It's really fun to see that.
Yeah, and as long as it's organic, and it certainly was with her. Shot down the middle by Moore. Comes back to Iveta. Puts that one on goal, picked up by Hannah. Now, Hannah not really looking to score a whole lot, just trying to get that ball up the table, give her partner a chance to pick it up, but it is Stelly who is able to grab the loose ball here. That long pull shot blocked by Hannah, comes back to Smith.
Look, Hannah's reading the room. She's reading her partner. She knows that Sully is a massive threat right now, so she doesn't have a sense of urgency to score. She's trying to get the ball to Sully.
That's right.
You get it to Sully. That's a great.
A good goalie is generally egoless, right? You need to, just whatever's good for the team. And right now, what's good for the team is getting this woman right here the ball as she sets it up, strokes it home. It is championship point for Sullivan, Rue, and Hannah Smith. And that one rattled into the goal by Moore to make it 4-3.
And Iveta's not going anywhere. She's a steady presence. She's a world champion with Ryan.
That's right.
And so she's not going anywhere.
Nope. It does remain championship point, and a timeout called here by Hannah Smith.
Where did you get the random like potpourri parfait of what is it? Cheddar cheese, wheat thins, tuna,
Turkey.
That's I look, dude. Your wife is just taking care of you,
awesome.
dude. So good, man.
Yeah, we got to eat up here as we're commentating.
I'm gonna DoorDash like something horrible for you.
Ball put back into play by Hannah Smith. That one sent to the short side, intercepted and taken away by Stelly, who will call time out.
Not quite what she was looking for. Can you turn the camera, Daniel? Can you give us a camera view? I want people to see what Jim's stunning wife has offered up. Oh, we're too late. They're not taking the full 30 seconds. Never mind.
This is Moore moving into the forward position to shoot the ball. She sets up the pull shot and strokes it home. It's 4-4.
Are they going to make a match?
What a great switch.
Are they going to make a match out of this, Jim?
Let's bring Yvette up there to fire home that long pull shot. Remains a championship point, however, for Sullivan Rue and Hannah Smith as Hannah puts the ball back into play.
Oh.
In the pass. Can't hold on to it, and the second timeout. I think in this format, I love the idea of planning a play.
Yeah.
That goalie putting it into play. Taken away here by Yvette. Trying to keep her team in it. And taken away by Rue.
3 downs in a row. We're 1 down too many.
And the
Off the
beautiful
wall.
tic-tac bounce pass for the win. Sullivan Rue.
Oh, just out there. What a block by Stelly.
Selly not giving up the long. Shot on goal, blocked by Hannah. Rebound grabbed by Moore. A chance to extend the match here for Yvette. They do not have a timeout remaining. Yvette Moore. And there's Hannah out there waiting for her. Boy, that straight looked wide open.
It was wide open. Ooh.
Angled up the table. Somehow Sully able to grab it. And she'll shoot for a win once again right here. Sullivan Rue. Chokes it home to that short side. Sullivan Rue and Hannah Smith have won the 2024 ITSF Tornado World Series Championship. And let's have a big round of applause for our second place finishers, Yvette Moore and Isabel Stelly. And your 2024 ITSF Tornado World Series Women's Classic Doubles Champions, Sullivan Rue and Hannah Smith.
That's fun stuff, man. That's really, really good foosball action.
Yeah.
It could... Interview.
Interview? Go.
You do it.
Come
You
on.
go. You do
Go.
it. You do it. Get down there and interview him. Jim Stevens is going to get down there and do an interview because he's the man. What?
Just for this?
Yeah. Hey, Sully and Hannah, stay right there. Hey, Hannah, stay right there. Jim's going to interview.
Sullivan Rue, Hannah Smith. You guys have played some international foosball before, so you know kind of what it feels like. This is the first really international tournament held in the United States. What does this mean to you guys to win this event? Sully?
I mean, we work so hard all the time. We haven't won a classic title before together. Anyway, we haven't won classic before, and we really game plan and work really hard and think through everything in order to do this.
And Hannah, for you, what does it feel like? You're playing the goalie position. You get that ball every time the opponent scores. How is that different than playing just traditional women's doubles?
I guess for me, it's a lot different because like you're in a position to pass. You can basically be their 5 for them. So it's really cool to get them the ball. It doesn't have to be shooting constantly. And I think I fall into that role well, and she does too. So it's a good fit for us.
And this kind of a format, which is a little different for Americans. You guys have, again, experienced it internationally. But do you think this might be kind of the future of American foosball?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, possibly.
I think it's a really, really good look into how professional things are in Europe, and it's just a really good thing for the U.S. to get to see this and play this format and have a chance to experience it like this.
Right, one of the great teams in the history of Tornado foosball. Congratulations, ladies.
What a great showing. Hannah and Sullivan. That match could have gone either way. It could have been tighter. Yvette had opportunities. Definitely the skill level is equitable, but when Sully gets into freight train mode, and Hannah, they're just like the perfect team, man. They're very difficult. We're talking about a team that was in the finals of the multi-table World Cup Championship, and to do that together is a stunning achievement. Things like this, they're well adept and well experienced together to handle that kind of thing. Great interview, Jim. I want to start hearing your thoughts on that kind of experience.
Yeah, I think you said it. This is a team, right? Obviously, Sullivan Rue, tremendous player. Hannah Smith, tremendous player. But they've also proven that when they play together, they fit together beautifully, whether it's goalie forward, depending on who it is. And in some cases, you will see Hannah playing forward because she can. She's a great forward. But it's that friendship, that team sort of concept that they have. This is a team I think we're looking at perhaps even dominating the sport here in America and potentially winning multi-table championships as well moving forward.
I'll say one last thing. You look at the bracket here, and so we just saw, we saw teams in the men's classic doubles, teams you'd expect to see lead up to a finals match. It doesn't matter what the format is.
No.
The best teams are going to rise to the top. Unless one of those teams has a moment of weakness and another team that typically doesn't win overcomes them, generally speaking, the top teams are going to rise to the top. We've got 5 qualifying matches. We've got elimination matches. These are the teams you'd expect to be there. Lo and behold, they're there.
I don't disagree with you at all because I actually think this particular format actually allows the cream of the crop to rise to the top more than any other because you do have to go through that qualification process. You then have to really have your back against the wall. You cannot fall back on double elimination, right? You have to win or go home. And I think really you are going to get true results in this kind of format.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The best teams are going to know the sense of urgency, are not going to cut corners psychologically. They're not going to have those breaches and I could take a ball off. And you got to focus.
Can't take a ball off.
The best out of people.
That's right. And we saw that right there. Congratulations to those ladies. Men's Classic Doubles final coming up here in a few minutes.
Awesome.
serve. This is a one-man warm-up table at this moment. Who's coming to get back later? Watch out for that one.
Those are the stupid things that end up scoring too. Where you're going,
Well, yeah, because I mean, naturally, it's like you're like over here, or even like that. You know, you're finishing right there. I mean, the accuracy is just unparalleled.
stunning.
I mean, dude. I mean,
All day.
just gonna walk away. Just gonna walk away.
Break the wrist, walk away.
And then I shoot a normal shot and can't hit it.
Talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Cool. I do that too sometimes.
We'll start about in 10 minutes, I think.
Huh?
We'll start in about 10 minutes, I think. So,
Yeah. Let them know.
yeah.
Never. Ah! Paul Smith me. He's behind me. He's behind me. He's behind me. Sorry, Paul. Slippery Joe. Do you believe in magic?
How do we get here with a stupid open hand slap shot?
Oh, is that what you think of yourself?
Eric's amazing.
Is that what you think of yourself? Wasn't that
You
your
don't
warrior
shoot a
shot?
real shot.
Didn't you actually shoot that on warrior? I would
yeah,
imagine
that's
that'd
a
be
shot.
called a real shot.
I never actually got to play you whenever you shot a poker. Like, not one time.
I did pretty good.
Because I wasn't playing those years, so it's like,
Yeah.
never.
You should shoot a real shot, not that tippy
I
toe
mean,
whip
that's-
cracker.
yeah.
Tippy toe whip
So is
cracker.
Kenneth Dale, is that not a real shot?
That's a real one.
Exactly. It's the same shit. Oh, that was money. a coin?
It's a Euro coin. Can you do it?
I can handle it.
Numbers or not
Numbers.
Number.
Numbers.
Money.
That is not number.
That is not numbered.
I'll take the ball. I'll go take a pee while you wrap up.
No pee. They still got. We gotta wait for them for probably 25 minutes.
They tell you 10 minutes or whatever. They
Yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah, their 10 minutes is 20 or 30. So you think you can roll like last match, right? Yeah. You start up and then just go from there.
Yeah.
Gazi, Fugazi.
We taking this side?
Yeah. Can't hit that. That should be the easiest one. Possible. Almost something I've never done. I was like, what could I have never done? Almost to the wall. There it is. Fire! I actually had a pass off it too. Warm that up. Is it warm?
Taking that side.
Is that warmed up?
Taking this side.
Is that illegal?
Blue comes off on
Is that your wall?
No.
Shit, I don't know if that's mine or theirs or whose.
I had one.
Just gamble, Ryan.
Gamble.
What's it growing on my lip?
Like Ian already had it before.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of events going on right now. Ooh. Ooh. Do that one a couple times.
We got a couple balls.
The baby seal club?
We got a couple.
Just one. You can only have one.
They only want you to
Only can have one ball.
What do you mean?
You can only have one ball.
replay every time, so it slows us down if they only put one.
One ball. seal right there.
Did we end up getting shirts for the
Oh,
Warren?
Warren,
Did
they're like 28 a piece or something.
Warren mail?
Did he wash
Oh,
them?
Oh, Warren?
Fold.
Got snuggle on mine.
Snuggle.
Oh, press.
I want you to real hot water since you made me wear an extra large. Shrink that.
Did I get a medium?
Medium.
That's the Mario. He does a hesitation though. He goes like,
The push kick?
yeah.
I can't do the open hand push kick. I don't know why.
Does that have one, Eric? Thanks, buddy. We're gonna be waiting.
I've been waking up at 5 in the morning every day.
Huh?
5 a.m.
Yeah, why?
You've been waking up 5?
Every
That
day.
sucks.
I know.
Fucking
I
terrible.
was up at that time today too, and then I hear him up. It's like, why are we both up at 5?
I brought him coffee at
I mean,
7.
I had to get up at 6 days because of kids. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no kids for us.
Wait a
We're
minute.
barely getting out of here at 8. Kids are home. Mom and dad?
Home? Oklahoma or,
Oklahoma.
or Kentucky?
Well,
Your mom's in
I
Kentucky?
denounce Kentucky as my home.
Denounce? You're Kentucky. You take.
I identify as
I would pick Kentucky
Oklahoma.
over Oklahoma.
Yeah. I identify as Oklahoma.
Are you gonna stay there? Or
Yeah, I
you wanna-
transitioned.
You do math now or something?
No.
Would have been better if you would have hit it.
I know. I gotta hit the full kick.
Been a long time.
I haven't shot one yet. I got my Bonzini shot.
Me either. Oh yeah, the weird winging at the fucking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I haven't shot one. Singles is tomorrow, and I want to warm it up.
It's a fucking rollover. You don't need to warm it up.
I do. Mine goes. You saw my first
I know
one.
my mind. It's hard.
Especially-
Everything's hard in foosball. There's nothing easy about this game. There's just advantages in the roll in comparison to other shots.
Not really. I mean,
I think it's easier to block, but there's just.
But I
less
can't. I mean, you see, I can't even hit the
execution.
fucking goal. But I have to do it off of a slow route.
You could also do 500 of them
Really?
and work it out.
True. Players get inconvenienced by drinkers. We're not even allowed to go drink.
Says who?
I mean, I'm drinking.
Says who? Says Donald Wilson. The hammer. Why are you shooting that?
I gotta
It's
warm it
illegal.
up for.
That's illegal,
I
sir.
don't care about this. I
It's
care.
fucking illegal, sir.
That was a good one.
None of that serious shit.
Are you chasing ITSF points?
I'm already way up there. So
Are you chasing
I don't care about that.
25% of the
I want to win the gold.
2,500 thing?
The what?
How many chances do you get to get in that? Or who makes it to that?
The golden.
Yeah.
The winner singles at every world.
So 5?
Yeah, and then the 2 points leaders at the end of the year.
What if they're the same?
If what's the same?
If the points leader won already one of the finals?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Because that always is going to happen, typically.
I have no idea. Yeah, most likely. Someone that's going to win the ticket is going to have the most
Yeah.
points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it'd be in your best interest to win this so that one of us doesn't come over there.
Let me win it.
No, I'm not letting you win it. I'm just saying it would be in your best interest, right?
I'm gonna
Because
try,
if you're
but-
going to win in points, and then you don't have to face any kind of tornado.
I don't
Is
know
it
if I'm going to win in
multi-table?
points, though. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know if I'll.
Really? Is somebody close?
I don't. are all on my thing. I'm going to lose. I mean, if I don't win Leonhard again, I'm going to lose 200 points there.
You lose points for not going, or what?
Well, no, I'm saying I won it. So if I won it last year, so I put me in the lead. If I don't win it, I lose those points.
Oh,
for
they
next
fall
year.
off.
Yeah, they fall
Or
off.
there's some fall off thing. I remember that back when I was.
Yeah, so every year, I mean, so I'm
So
the
you
number.
gotta
Those points are
take its
gonna.
place.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so,
weird.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm stumbling back in here. 2 shots and 2 beers later.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to decide who will be the 2024 Men's Classic Doubles Champions. And let's introduce most of the players. On the right side of the screen in the forward position, please welcome Ryan Moore. And the goalie, Brandon Moreland. And on the left side, the forward, Tony Spredeman. And his goalie, Eric Hiltner. Best 3 games out of 5 for the championship. Good luck, players.
I always get fired up every time. I know it's been 25 years of the same music.
That is Mark
But I
Torres,
get
folks.
fired up.
I'm Jim Stevens, and we are with you once again as we'll now bring you the Classic Doubles Final. Last match of the night, and we are at, I don't know, 9-something.
Dude, like this tournament is living up to every expectation.
Yeah.
Incredible matches leading up to an early finish.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And this is
Awesome.
going to be a good one here. Of course, some of the great players in the world. Ryan Moore now will open up this first game with an opportunity to send his team into the lead as he sets up the pull shot. And again, no snake shots in classic doubles.
An early timeout.
And Ryan's going to call timeout.
I like that. No, listen. I watched these guys play in the qualifying round. Guess who won?
I don't know.
Spredeman and Hiltner.
Did they?
Won in
Okay.
the qualifying round. Now, if I was going to tell you honestly, if I was betting, who do you think I would bet on?
I would think you would bet on, of course, Spredeman and Hiltner.
No.
No.
I would bet on more than more. You know why? Because that pool kick is very questionable, man.
So you
that
like,
pool kick.
yeah.
I mean, look, I count on Tony to have.
So Tony Spredeman has his A shot, which is a snake shot. And then would you say the pull kick is like his C shot?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's a huge gap between
Whereas
his
Ryan
rollover.
Moore's pull shot is like
Yes.
his 1A.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just like it's his betting versus now. You got great equalizers, but I don't know if it benefits for the ball to start with Eric versus Brandon.
However, Tony's such
Drops.
a great competitor, 2 great goalies on the table as well. Live on, are we still live on Twitch?
We better be live on everything. Anyway, we want to thank Foosball TV from Germany for coming out and making sure we're live on everything. The beautiful Daniel Sorger.
Yeah. He is beautiful, isn't he?
Yeah, the loud Julian Vortman.
Was he more beautiful when he had hair, though? I don't know.
Yes. And we got Israel. And Israel, if you haven't seen Israel, he's like the hair I've always wanted.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, Mark has described the production crew beautifully.
people are starting to get to know that I'm a serial killer.
Yeah. Well,
That's
we've
weird.
known that for a while.
So that's weird.
Anyway,
Israel, you're
back
beautiful.
to foosball.
If I could put Israel's hair on Daniel. Anyway, let's focus.
Tony Spredeman now will set up the pull kick against his former Texas State championship winning partner. In fact, he and Brandon Moreland won 5 Texas State championships together.
So let me tell you the reason why.
Okay.
Tony's pull kick is like a pro level pull kick.
Pro.
But it is not a master level pull kick.
Is there such a thing as a master level pull kick these days?
Well, so what are we talking about? We're about someone that has complete command where all the shots look the same and you can't distinguish between the pull kick dink and the long pull kick.
Who has a better pull kick than Tony?
Well, I mean, do you want to reach back? Do you want to talk about like Thor Donovan? Do you want to talk about Marv Puha?
Chris Doobie.
Chris Doobie? Yeah, those are guys whose pull kicks I take in a minute.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. But that was their regular shot, their A shot.
Yeah.
Ryan snapping off a beautiful wall pass will set up his pull shot, which again is his 1A.
Yeah.
You got to call John Wayne.
You got to call Ryan's 1A.
Strokes it home down the middle to make it 1-0.
I mean, what do you really do? Is it a 1A and a 1A plus between his rollover and his pull shot? How do you can't even distinguish.
They're
right?
both great.
Lethal. Right.
They're both great.
Ryan Moore and Brandon Moreland on the right. For those of you on our public channels that don't watch much foosball, and Tony Spredeman and Eric Hiltner on the left. And Tony's probably the greatest tornado champion. He is the greatest tornado
greatest
champion.
Tornado player ever.
But Ryan is someone who has the skill level of he's a supermaster.
Ryan Moore is a top 3 all-time tornado player.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we're addressing these people that are watching on our free streams that don't have much experience with foosball.
No, and again, the key is to pass the ball 5-3, and these are 2 great passing 5 rows. Again, it's about options. It's about, am I going to go along the wall? Am I going to go through that high lane as Tony does here? Spredeman, the fake, and then the tic-tac pull kick to make it 1-1.
Wicked, man. The reverse
Look at that.
pull kick. Yeah.
And Tony's grip is unique. There's no question about it. The way he handles that handle.
I like it. Just no pun intended, baby.
None at all.
Now, what I love about Tony, too, is he will step up to another level. He plays up. Not that he doesn't play down. So he's not going to play to an amateur level. That's a weakness. But he plays up for sure.
Yep.
So he has a high level of play, but then when he's playing a super grand master like Ryan Moore, he goes up.
Fortunate advancement there, and then
boom.
that slingshot off the outside wall. Watch this, folks. Watch, he'll bring it over, he'll bounce it, he'll angle it, he'll score it to make it 2-1.
And you heard someone in the crowd say happy birthday.
I'm not sure why.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah. It is my son's birthday on Monday. Another
happy birthday
slingshot
to
attempt.
Kian Stevens.
Kian Stevens, yeah.
Boom.
10th, it'll be number 10. And maybe those of you who have listened to Foos Talk Live know the story about that. And I was here at this event, or at the Texas State Championships on this weekend 10 years ago.
And let's do that, Jim. Let's thank the Texas State Championship.
Beautiful shot pass along the outside wall by Hiltner to Spredeman.
Let's thank Steve Murray and the Texas State Championship for graciously allowing this weekend to bring the inaugural Tornado World Series. Let's thank Foosball Sports Network, and you got to come visit their store if you can here at the Weston Airport.
It's as simple as this. Steve Murray is one of the great foosball men of all time. No question about it. Worldwide, top 5 all-time foosball men, right? And he looks at what he's been doing. He's run a great championship. Is Tony able to angle that one in to make it 3-1? A little bit of a different effort there from Tony. But Steve Murray has run a great event, a major championship, as that one angled into the goal by the 5 of Moore to make it 3-2. But Steve said to himself, he said, what can I do? I'm a believer in international table soccer. I loved what I experienced when I went to Europe. What can I do to kind of, for my legacy, to kind of send the sport forward?
Mm-hmm.
He said, let's run a World Series. Let's run a true Tornado World Championship, World Series event. And that's what he's done here this week, and sacrificing a little bit, what he had brought to the Texas State Championships. And it's so admirable what he has done. Tony with a possession on the 3-rod will call timeout, leading 3-2 here in game number 1.
And let's also, while we got time, recognize the incredible Foosball TV production coming all the way from Germany to give us this incredible multi-view. Here we see an amazing view here. We see the sets and the goals, the sets meaning games. We see what event we're in. We see what event, we see all the nuanced detail.
Tony putting it back into play, try to go to that short side against Moreland. Blocked and taken away by Brandon. Yeah, what a beautiful finals area. What a beautiful setup here. And of course, the ITSF always does things in a first-class manner. I've been lucky, Mark, to be able to work, numerous, a dozen or more international events hosted by the ITSF, maybe close to 20, and always so professionally run.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I know. Hey, Daniel. I know. Okay, I know. We're having fun back here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you're from, inside jokes, inside foos, pun intended. How's it going?
3-2 lead early on here for Spredeman and Hiltner in this opening game. Best 3 games out of 5. 3 sets out of 5.
Which is games.
Yeah. I may have to switch to saying sets, though. I may have to.
Why? Because these flipping people put sets on our screen? Why? We just patronize them because I don't know why.
Shot on goal here by Moreland, and then the rebound stabbed towards the goal, kept out by Hiltner. Talked about it earlier, but there are very few true goalies left in the sport. You go back to 1970s, 1980s, there were a lot of goalies, right? There were a lot of teams that were a forward and a goalie in a traditional manner. Not so much as the sport evolved, and a beautiful pass here, Hiltner to Spredeman. Look for Tony to score this one. Usually after a pass, he's going to put something of quality on goal, but there's Moreland to make the block.
It would be interesting, though, Jim, to see, because we always reflect to this 3 to 5 year era of the 70s where the money was astronomical. Mm-hmm. And if that were ever to occur again, would we continue to see hybrid players, or would we see specialized players like goalies and forwards?
Great question, yeah. It's whatever works, and what ended up working was more the hybrid.
Yeah.
Or the Robert Mares type of player. Right?
He's the epitome, he's the symbol of hybrid play.
Oh,
Boom.
Beautiful long snap and pull kick there by Tony to make it 4-2. Watch this. As Tony scores it.
We were looking at the 5-bar flip. We were looking for that little 3-bar spin, and you saw Moreland spin that 3-bar. Thank you, Daniel, for that shot. We're having fun back here. Like
4-2 lead early on here for Spredeman and Hiltner. And there's Moreland exploding to that short side. Watch this.
Always dangerous.
Squares it off to that near corner.
And he shot the tuck. That's like short hole tuck.
The key is to get that goalie off that short side. You got to give a big move, and Moreland did. Coming back is Hiltner with that shot on goal, and then Eric able to smoothly grab the rebound. But Eric is a true goalie in the traditional sense. Beautiful pass, and Tony with a chance to win game number 1 right here. Spredeman fires it home to that short corner. It's 1-0.
That's a good starting sign for Tony Spredeman.
And again, you see that. You saw that was a completely close-handed grip that he used to score that ball. What would it say if Tony Spredeman, whose pull kick is what, 40% of his snake shot?
Right.
Because of his ability to work the goal with that snake?
Yeah.
For him to still win an event like this against this kind of competition, what would that say about Tony?
Well, let's not forget something. So when the Warrior Table Soccer started their classic doubles championships, there was all this people. I'm talking about 15 years ago. I said in social media 15 years ago that Tony Spredeman is going to be in the finals no matter what. Now, he may not win, but his other parts of his game, and he started shooting that pull kick. He was in the finals. Often against Trevor Park and Todd Lafredo, he would be in the finals of doubles. So it's a testament to his overall skill level. He can get to the finals shooting anything.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the other parts of his game, which are, supreme.
Right. Supreme. Like master class to the nth
High-end
degree.
master class, yeah. Super master.
Yep. Super grand master. We just keep adding superlatives. What's next?
And Tony again hitting that short side. What a beautiful shot here by Spredeman. Quick, short, effective. It's 1-0. Moreland, pull kick goes wide. They've really, for the last few balls, where has Ryan Moore been?
Yeah, I don't
not
think
really
it's
heard from
flat
at all.
Flat, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another beautiful pass by Hiltner. A little hesitation long. Backspin's going to carry it back to Tony. Short pull kick. Nope, the long one after a tic-tac.
Nice. And they're switching, which is not necessarily a good thing for Tony and Eric, because now Ryan's got the ball in his 2-bar. And oh, he
And
take
Tony
yes,
smartly
so
calls
smart.
timeout.
He's
Oh,
like, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, if you're watching foosball for the first or second or fifth time only, Ryan Moore is a lethal weapon from the 2-bar, and even the great Tony Spreederman, who is the greatest tornado foosball champion and one of the all-time greats in foosball period, is immediately recognized the danger of Ryan Moore with that ball in the 2-bar.
You know, Ryan Moore, and for those of you that don't know, probably the best shooting goalie the sport's ever seen on the tornado table and beyond.
It's hard to argue against him being the best shooting tornado goalie, if not because we've seen him do more of it than Billy, who could have probably been the best shooting tornado goalie, but just didn't commit the way Ryan did.
Shot down the middle on goal.
On goal. Immediately on goal.
Rebound grabbed by Hiltner. 1-0 lead for Tony and Eric. Another pass attempt. Hiltner does clear the zone. Picked up by Tony. Will take it across. Tic-tac and look to advance it, which he does. Nicely along the wall against Moreland. Here is Spreiteman versus Moore. And the hesitation long pole kick makes it 3-0.
Man.
Watch this. A little bit of a hesitation and then hitting that long
I'm
pole.
not cheering for Tony and Eric, but I love seeing a good pull kick. Isn't it fun to watch? You don't get to
it's
see
so
pull
fun.
kicks. Yeah.
So fun. And a steal here by Tony.
Bank attempt. Recovered.
Spreiteman shot attempt. Ryan races him out there to make the block. Tony looking at the split dink, maybe? No, we'll try to go short. What do we got? Anybody out there commenting on anything?
Yeah, we got someone saying, are the games more entertaining without the rollover? I don't know the answer to that. They're different. They're different, right?
They are, yeah. It is a lot of fun to watch pull kicks and potentially push kicks and
pull shots even.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the difference,
Yeah.
and here's why I like it. And like I said, I'm not going to denigrate the rollover who most people shoot. When you have a two-stroke shot, if you've ever shot a two-stroke shot, it adds an element of execution that's different than the rollover. It adds a whole other layer of drama because it's hard to execute a two-stroke shot under stress. I mean, Jim is a push kick shooter.
Will it be on
he
goal?
He is a pull shot shooter. Is it even on goal? Now, when you shoot a rollover, it's going to probably be on goal and probably be hard and probably whether it's the right spot or not. It adds a different level of theatrics
for sure,
and it's just different. So I don't want to like reduce rollover versus push kick, pull kick, or classic, but it actually adds that drama that I love about not being able to shoot a rollover.
Here's Moreland against Hiltner, and Brandon able to find that short side. Watch here. You see the grip, and
Boom.
you see the rip.
Yeah.
3-1.
You see the lick, but do you see the boom? Why are you smiling, Daniel? It's creepy. I looked over and he's smiling.
Yeah, it is 3-2.
Oh, there's what I'm talking about.
Look at that.
You cannot sleep on this gentleman. That was a hard split. And if you don't know this about Tony Spreederman, who has the best zone we've ever seen in foosball, when Ryan Moore starts hitting the splits and the tucks and the short holes, that's a thing of beauty.
To the short side here, and here comes Moore. Two in a row from Ryan.
That's
this time
monstrous.
To the short side.
Yeah.
This is where you really have to zone him. If you're a goalie, you've got to stay home on that short or move out and rely on your partner to stay home.
Yeah.
But you got to work together if you're going to be able to stop Ryan Moore. And that's 2 in a row from Ryan to even it up at 3. Nice pass by Hiltner to that near side. Here's Tony again against Ryan. Ryan out there to make the block and take it away.
Okay, we're going to talk about something in a second that cannot be underestimated.
Okay.
And we want to let him shoot first. So when Ryan starts scoring like that, and even before he starts scoring like that, it puts an extra level of stress that didn't exist before. So like now your pull kick that you're shooting on your 3-bar, you're a little bit more pensive because you're like, I gotta make this because if Ryan gets it, it's scary.
It really does influence everything,
Yes,
doesn't it?
It changes everything, and it's not unlike a center like Dikembe Mutombo or Akeem Olajuwon, because in the middle of the lane,
Lingering,
blocking stuff,
looking to block
he intimidates you. He makes you not want to make mistakes.
Have to think about it.
Yeah.
And it influences things,
That's
even
right.
if it isn't a shot attempt. It's other
Right.
things, yeah.
Right. It's an
Timeout
intimidation.
call here.
It's intimidating.
And
that
how
he's
many
gonna get the
players
ball.
can you say that about? I mean, Tony, you can certainly say that about as a forward, but as a goalie, maybe Ryan's the only guy.
I think
at
he might
this
be.
stage.
Well, Billy was also when Billy in his peak.
Billy 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, giving him credit where credit is due. Giving credit where credit is due. Like Ryan would survey the defense and call a timeout like he's shooting from his 3-bar and then crush one. Right? That's what we're talking about.
Here we go. Ryan. Or Moore zigzags that one up the table, picked up here by Hildner. It is 1-0. It's the final of men's classic doubles.
He hits the ball so damn hard, you got to worry about an incidental Z-bank, you know?
Tony will pick up the loose ball and shoot for the lead, and he finds it. He's able to execute to that short corner again. You got to look for the long, but you also got to block that short. It's 4-3. Ryan, who has scored 2 here in this second game from goal. Fires that one down the middle. Tony hustles after it.
Trying to
Squeezes, can't quite get to it.
It's so threatening because if you can't get it, Ryan gets it.
And he is an offensive weapon back there, to the equivalent of almost anybody's 3-row. Oh, beautiful bounce through the high lane to the middle, man, and a chance to take a 2-0 lead here for Sprademan. But Ryan says no to that short dink attempt. Shot down the middle by Moore. Rebound grabbed here by Hiltner, who banks it off the outside wall, and it comes around and lands on the 3-rod of Moreland. Brandon takes his time, resets, and calls timeout.
Is he going to let Ryan shoot it?
Yep.
Is he going to let Ryan shoot it? This is a testament to his confidence scoring on Eric.
I think you do here. I think you do. I think you bring Ryan up there for this shot, then send it back to goal. But we'll see. Sometimes Ryan just wants to camp out back at the goal position. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think we're going to see.
Ball put back into play by Moreland, and of course, no slouch in that forward position. This is a future Hall of Fame player. I don't think there's any question, and he strokes it home, or even at 4.
Split, nice shot.
Watch this.
Boom.
Squares it off beautifully.
That
shooter's best friend.
Yeah, that middle would have gone to anyone. It was a 3-quarter and then big job middle.
Yeah.
Great shot.
4-4 here in the second. 1-0 lead, and a turnover by Hiltner leads to a possession and a chance to win game number 2 for Brandon Moreland, who sets it up. And shot attempt blocked by Hiltner.
Hi, Ramses. Those time limits are the same. Just answering your question there, buddy.
Off the wall, then back to the wall. For a second game win, that tic-tac goes wide of the goal. And again,
it's 4-4 right now.
As great as Tony is, it isn't like he sits at home on a tornado table and practices pull kicks, 10 or 20 or 30 and does repetitions.
The opposite. Ooh, quick rebound.
Just wide of the goal. Watch this.
Yeah. Boom. Look at that.
What a great replay.
That's exciting, dude. Look at that. Look at Brandon. Is just happy he didn't go in. No, getting back to this,
Still
Tony
4-4.
just came from the Bonzini World Series.
Yeah.
He's not been tornado focused at all.
No. And what an adaptation! What a difference, right? Bonzini Worlds last week and then Tornado this week. Very different tables. Although I really like the Bonzini table. One of those. Oh, that went up the table off a man, rattles in. Here's Ryan. Let's see what happens here. Yep.
Yeah.
Off that inside wall and in. We are even at 1 game apiece.
It's just dangerous when you get someone who can hit the ball that hard. It doesn't matter. Like you could be. So you saw Eric block multiple disciplined on goal, long or split pull shots, and you can't block everything. Ryan gets enough opportunities. He's gonna score on you. Like nothing you could do about it. He's gonna score on you. There's the crowd there. Look at that.
Crowd. Yep.
Awesome to see.
65% of whom are dressed in black.
It's a goth crowd.
It is.
We're having fun out here. Oh, man.
Game 3 underway. Ball put into play by Hiltner, who's tried to send it along the outside wall. We got a match now, folks. We're down to one final. Best 2 games out of 3, 2 sets out of 3. Tony can't hold on to it. It comes back to Ryan, who on the scoreboard scored 3 in that last game from goal. More. Shot. Oh, it's stopped back into the goal by the 5 of Tony. Watch this, folks. Watch this replay. Tony sends it right back.
He looks up, too. That's the danger of hitting the ball so hard. If it goes back at you, it's coming back equally fast. Now, Brian might score this right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Tried to come short side, stolen away by Sprademan. Oh, the one thing about Tony, he's always going to adjust.
Yes.
A slingshot attempt blocked away. Ryan staying aggressive back there offensively. Oh, and off the outside wall. I'm not sure what that was, folks. A pull to a pin
Listen.
to an outside bank and a
That's just called
score.
hitting the ball hard.
What a great replay.
It's like it would just hit the ball hard and it goes toward the goal.
We're
You
tied at
know.
one game apiece, one goal apiece here in the third. Jim Stevens, Mark Torres, Daniel Sorg, Julian Vortman, all here to bring you incredible action here on table number one.
It's Sorger, right? It is Sorger.
And finding that straight hole is Moreland.
Let me apologize. It's Sorger.
Yeah. What have you been calling him?
Sorcerer?
Mm.
Okay, let's focus.
And sent in. That almost looked like a planned play as
Yeah.
Moreland brings it over, bounces it off the inside wall, then Tony able to pick it up with the 5 and score it. Moreland just sort of laughs and shakes his head a little. Or even at 2.
Listen, I don't think Moreland is high.
What?
He's laughing at it like he's high. It's just want to
Interesting.
What?
Uh,
Why?
Interesting
It's real.
analysis there from Mark.
Dude, he's just like, he smiled like he appreciated the slop. No one appreciates it.
Here's Ryan
Boom.
dancing with the ball. Tried to bank it off the outside
Yeah.
wall, blocked by Tony. Comes back to Moore, who's looking to bank the ball. Shot down the middle, a push
Reversed.
kick attempt. Rebound grab by Hiltner. He saw Hiltner trying to pass near side. Brings it back down the middle. Top spin carries it forward to Sprademan, who scratches his ear, and then will set up the pull kick against Moore.
These are critical possessions right here.
3/4. Nope, short
is,
side,
yeah.
beautifully executed by Sprademan. It's
Now, the
3-2.
three-quarter would have been another probably good choice in this position.
But instead, he hit that very tight little short dink.
Because I think Ryan has the reactions to recognize a double reverse and block the long.
Yeah.
And you don't see a double reverse short side from Spree
No.
either. So if you're going to do a double reverse, it's got to be long or split.
But, you know, this is as good as it gets. When you say Sprademan versus Moore, right, they're constantly going to be adjusting to the adjustments, back and forth.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what makes it so fun to watch.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Tony Spreadman. That's Brandon Moreland and Ryan Moore. We're talking about some of the greatest tornado champions of all time, multi-champions. Eric Hiltner is no slouch either. Tony's lifelong friend, and a couple Texas State championships, a couple of major championship wins. Not necessarily on the level of success as the other gentleman here, but a great, great goalie.
Yep, sure is. All right, Ryan will put the ball back into play. It's 3-2 here in game number 3. Even at one game apiece, it's the final of Classic Doubles here at the 2024 ITSF Tornado World Series here in Dallas. Here is Hiltner giving Tony another opportunity as he'll tic-tac on that far side against Moreland and then somehow
funky,
angle
dude.
it through.
He talked about that pass.
That's
That
like
pass is
unblockable.
funky, yeah. It's a middleman, brushy thing to the dude. It's just a funky pass. It's a no man's land.
Yeah. I love to see the evolution. It's like the Beatles, right? The Beatles went from this pop band in the early 60s to kind of a semi-rock. Let's create some new things and then, let's do some hallucinogenics.
As I was about to say, they dropped acid.
Let's
in the
create
70s.
some stuff. And Tony isn't dropping acid. I want to
No.
get that on the
Not
record.
that we know of.
But it's the evolution, right? Tony always changing, always growing, always evolving. Now living in Europe, playing mostly on European tables, which changes his game.
Reverse,
You know?
but he was off. It wasn't going to go anyway. Ryan was on the post, but he misexecuted it by a mile.
But Tony continuing to get opportunities, and most of the time Tony is going to out-5 the opponent, getting
All right.
a lot of
Boom.
chances. And he
Nice.
drills it here.
And you know what? I know Tony likes shooting that. I know he
he
likes
has
shooting
fun.
the ball. He
He
has
has
so
fun.
much fun.
He
It's
loved.
just
He used to love Warrior tournaments
Yeah.
because he had to shoot pull kicks.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was classic. We literally had to shoot it. And there's Ryan again from goal.
We're not keeping track, but it's got to be 4 or 5.
That's at least 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 more, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
It's funny about Ryan because he's like height is forward. Like, Brandon, just can you step back for a second? I need to shoot this. Don't block my 2 more shots, please.
4-3 lead here in the third for Sprademan and Hiltner, and we've got a timeout.
Is that 2 this game? I think he got a slop and he scored that one. So it's 2 this game. And that could be a funny thing because depending on your perspective as a forward, you're saying, man, he's gave me a great opportunity. Or you're saying, damn, I'm not doing anything right now.
Exactly.
I'm
That
really
that's the
contributing.
dilemma.
Yeah, man. It's like this guy scored 2 and we're still behind. Am I really pulling my weight as a forward? You know?
Here's Sprademan with a chance to give his team a 2-1 lead. Weaving, trying to
Oh.
go with that slinger, blocked.
It's in the comments.
Shot down the middle by Hiltner. Rebound grabbed on the 5 by Sprademan. Tony, tic-tac bounce pass. He'll shoot for a 2-1 lead and find it as he splits the defense with a dink. Watch this, very tight, brilliantly executed. Ryan stayed home on that short side, but it didn't matter as Tony was able to find that hole down the middle. And Tony Sprademan and Eric Hiltner now a game away from the Classic Doubles Championship.
I'm going to make a comment, Jim. And it's not a criticism. It's not a positive or negative. However, before the rollover, it was harder to score. And so what we're seeing now is like games would be longer. The rollover increased the scoring, accelerated scoring.
I don't disagree.
So we're seeing the kind of the ratio of blocks and scoring we saw
Interesting.
back when there was less rollover. When it was push, kick, pull shot, push shot. This was probably the duration of the
So
match,
while
right?
you're seeing like 65% shooting percentages with a rollover, traditionally it would have been more like 45% with some of these other shots at the highest end.
Even 50 and 30, right? 50 and 30.
That's
right? Or 50 and
interesting.
40. Even that 10%, though, accelerates a game time by minutes.
And I think, most of us who are fans of the sport or part of the media or players would agree that to some degree, it was a better game.
It was a different game for
It was
sure.
a different
It was a
game for sure.
longer game. Now, that's not necessarily-
it evolved
yeah.
the way it would go.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, and we're going to deal with it. But
Jar on the 2-bar. Eric's going to get the possession. I don't know. Like I said, this is not a commentary other than the rollover accelerated scoring. I'm not saying it's a good
for
thing
sure.
or bad thing. It
No,
accelerated
it's
scoring.
but oftentimes you go both ways on it. Yes, there are advantages to it, and it's natural. It's evolution.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it was kind of fun to watch push kicks, pull kicks,
Yeah.
push shots, and the back bends and
But you know what's comical, too? The most dominant shot we've
and
seen.
that block angled into the goal by Moreland. It's 1-0. This is a defensive goal, folks. by Brandon.
Eric's going to kick himself for that one. The most,
Look at Tony.
the most dominant shot we've seen at the championship level is Frederick's wrist Euro, and we haven't seen any of those, man. How come we don't see that here because you can shoot that in the Classic. No one's shooting.
It is such a difficult shot on Tornado, and the fact that Fred could do it and do it the way he did it is just indicative of what an incredible player he was. Yeah, no one else. I mean, whether it's Rob Atha, who has a very good one, even Lafredo will shoot a front pin at times. But
oh, really? We get some information here from the
I hope
Germans.
so.
Raphael Hempel.
I hope he does.
Shoots that. Is that how you pronounce
he's playing,
that?
He's playing with my wife in mixed doubles. I hope he does.
Is that what he shoots as a main shot? Oh, cool, man. We get to see one. Like a real Euro is cool to see.
It is. Wow.
Euro pin shot is.
I was lucky enough to be able to, for his entire career, to be able to commentate, Frederic Collignon matches, not only on Tornado, but on all the different tables and, able to watch him and cover him. And, now looking back, it was like when I was a Laker fan in the 80s and watching Magic Johnson. It was just such a privilege to be able to watch someone as great as Frederic Collignon and be able to talk about it.
Well, Tony started a rumor that Federico's going to come back. He's planning a comeback.
I've heard that.
Which would be bananas.
Well, comeback meaning he might come over to the U.S. and play. I kind of thought maybe there was a chance he would come to this event, But, Tom Lafredo hopes he does that little hesitation.
Where's the replay on that? Look at where that boom.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All the way
Wicked.
around. And there's Ryan again, this time to the short corner to make it 2-1.
I love that. That's a zone breaker in singles. It is painful in singles because people tend to jump off that hole.
Yeah, the thing is with Ryan scoring the ball the way he does, oftentimes his forward isn't doing a lot. It's rare when you see his forward also performing at peak level. And right now, and again,
There it is.
there's Ryan.
Yeah, when he gets like this,
Okay.
because now look what happens. Eric gets the ball, and Eric's like, well, what the hell, man? How do I get it to Tony? Because if Ryan gets it, it could be painful as shit. You know what I mean?
What did you say? Yeah.
Painful as shite, because we have Germans here.
I think shite is more of a British word.
Whatever. Is it?
I
How do
think
you guys say shit?
Scheisse.
Scheisse? Painful as Wiener Schnitzel, which is an incredible brand of hot dog in the United States, by the way. Daniel, you all right?
I'm not sure I'm okay at this point.
Oh, dude. Okay, Ryan just putting the terror in you.
But again, we have seen, and of course, Ryan Moore and Blake Robertson had great success winning the multi-table world championships, winning Tornado World Championships. But again, when Ryan is scoring like that from goal, oftentimes his forward is kind of watching. They're not always also adding to that, right?
You have no idea the number of people that think they could win anything with Ryan playing goalie.
Well, we all could. We all could win open doubles playing with Ryan if he's scoring 3 a game, And Ryan's rolling pull shot.
Oh, man. Ugh. I think it's also kind of funny to see Brandon hiding himself. He's like, hey, take this one too. Score 4. Score from every rod. And it's no disrespect to Brandon, but it's kind of like, hey, man, he's hot.
Tony will call timeout.
See, that's dangerous, though. That's dangerous because they talk about switching. And unless Tony unless Tony wants to shoot on Ryan, then you put a little pressure on yourself.
I think he must have. I mean,
Maybe.
He knew that. You knew what was coming.
Well, maybe because there's a meta here. Because if Ryan blocks him, then Ryan's got the damn ball. Right? I mean, I don't want Ryan back there. But keep Ryan on the freaking 5 bar.
Maybe Tony does,
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming. You just assume that Tony might have thought of that. Like, okay, maybe he wants to shoot on Ryan. I hope
Tony
so.
loves challenges. And here is Tony shooting against Ryan. That shot attempt locked in. Oh, what a great grab on the rebound. That's Braidman earning an extra possession. The fake. And a little hesitation to the long hole. And then that shot attempt with that near man. I love the battle, though. I love watching these two guys go head to head.
Right.
Nothing better. That shot attempt by Ryan, who's feeling it. The left hook attempt blocked by Moreland and grabbed by Brandon on the 5.
They're having fun, dude. They're having fun, man. They're having fun.
They're having fun as only players at this level can against each other, right? There's a shared experience that the rest of us almost can't relate to. And there's Moreland making it 4-1. Looks like we're heading to a 5th game here momentarily. Oh, that one was deep. What a great angle there on that replay. Another nice pass by Hildner. Taken away by Ryan. Tony already looking ahead to the 5th game potentially here. Down 4-1 here in the 4th. Well, let's see what Tony's got for us here. Why not go for a big booming long?
That's what he did. And if hopefully he's got the presence to say, I'm setting up for the 5th game, something for the 5th game. You hope to think he's not necessarily just phoning it in, and there's a lot of forethought into what the decisions he makes going into the 5th game.
But that's the way these guys, organically think. They're always looking at how can I set this up for the future? They're always thinking 2, 3, 4 moves ahead. And the dink here makes it 2 games apiece.
We're heading into the 5th game, man. We're heading into the 5th game. We're heading into the 5th game, and what time is it? The 5th game of the last match of the night is 10:25, dude.
Is it?
It's 10:25.
Late.
This is the best thing that ever happened to foosball. Yes, I'm making last call. I need to order some chicken wings, dude. They close at midnight. Yes. Dude, I'm going to have some chicken wings. If you have not been to the Westin, Airport Westin, Dallas-Fort Worth on John McHenry?
Carpenter.
John Carpenter, yes, the great filmmaker. The Thing. That's right. Get out here, man. Hang out, have fun, buy some stuff from the Foosball Network store, get some chicken wings, have some fun, man. We're just hanging, dude. We're just chilling. We got Foosball TV's production doing stuff for us. and foosball.
Are you finished yet?
No, I'm just what? I'm going home.
All right, here we go.
Boom.
5th game underway. Hiltner will put it into play in the pass. Love that out of that opening play. I think it always should be a play. I always think a design play would work. Tony, that long pull kick wide of the goal, grabbed by Ryan.
Dude, this is a dangerous time. If Ryan decides he's having as much fun as he wants, lights out.
So much fun to watch Ryan versus Tony. Moore. Try here's that one down the middle. Tony able to knock it down. Couldn't hold on to it. It rolls to the 5 of Moreland. Brandon hovers, then goes along the wall, scoops it up nicely. He'll shoot against Eric Hiltner with a chance to take that early lead here in game number 5. Brandon Moreland. Strokes it home down the middle.
And people like to look at
1-0.
this. People like to think this is isolated.
Look at the
It's
hands.
not.
Watch the quickness of the hands and the resulting goal to make it 1-0.
What I was saying is it's not isolated. Ryan's putting pressure on you to execute. It's putting pressure on Eric to execute.
You feel Ryan anytime he's over there, especially at goal. You feel him at forward, but you really feel him when he's back there at goal.
And then guess what? It makes it easier for Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, it
Like,
totally does.
right?
Yeah. It's freedom. It's freedom
Yeah.
for Brandon. Yeah. There's no pressure for him to do anything,
Oh my
and that
God.
turns into a fortunate pass forward
Give them a break. That's what they needed.
for a 2-0 lead. Moreland. Don't give him the split. He'll take it if you give it to him. And that, what a beautiful shot by Moreland. He weaves, he dances, he finds the short
millimeters.
side.
Millimeters.
What a gorgeous shot by Moreland to make it 2-0. That's high-end stuff.
Then you get this freak the ball. It's just too much. I mean, they got to get control right now or it's going to go to hell.
If you remember 2019, Ryan Moore and Blake Robertson won the Tornado World Championship, also won the multi-table World Championship with Ryan playing as good as any goalie could ever play in that event over in Murcia, Spain. And right now, Moreland doing a good job on the 5, but this one's going to get through, and Tony needs this one, and he gets it.
And we started
Watch
off
this. Let's see where this did go. It went long.
Yeah, it went long. I don't know if it went off the man.
It went off the man. Yeah.
Well, we started off with this saying that Tony's pull kick is probably a low pro, mid pro pull kick.
Oh, and there's Ryan stroking it home.
This is just
boom, baby.
Yeah, that's too many possessions, dude. Like you got to worry about that every time. Like if he score, they got to worry about it.
Side bank attempt back the other way. It is match point. It is championship point.
No.
As that one squeezes behind Hiltner.
Championship point.
Much to the dismay of Tony.
And Ryan's pointing? Really?
Let's see if he puts it away right here. Morrow!
That was
baby.
Just the flurry of craziness. And he crushed that ball. Jim,
wow.
We need to get on this microphone and recognize and maybe even interview.
No. It's your turn.
No, dude. No. I can't do it. You're the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for our second place finishers, Tony Spredeman and Eric Hiltner. And your 2024 Classic Doubles Men's Champions, Ryan Moore and Brandon Moreland.
No, you're the best. You're the best. Yes.
Try to go close to the banner, the best light.
And get more audio. Jim's going to go down there and interview the champions. They're trying to get me to do it, but that's not my thing. I don't like interpersonal communication. I like to hide behind a microphone. Here we go.
Ryan Moore, Brandon Moreland.
Boom.
I don't even want to talk to you, Ryan. I just want to talk to Brandon about that. How does it feel when you know, as you're a great forward, of course, but how does it feel when you know you got him back there and he's going to get a couple, he's going to block stuff? What kind of freedom does that give you?
Freedom.
No mic. Go ahead.
There we go. What kind of freedom does it give you playing the forward position when you know you got a guy like this back there?
Not much freedom when it comes to classic though. Like it's just the ball stays away from you for so long, and then all of a sudden you get it and you gotta perform in that moment. So
That's right.
the longer the match went on, I think I finally had some chances. And but yeah, you know that he's gonna put in 2 at least, right? And so you can feel comfortable knowing you just need to like do your job a little bit.
And you, I mean, it's always a question, right? Are you going to show up? Are we going to get to see you having fun? Are we going to get to see you being aggressive? Because sometimes you like to just simply have fun, right? It's about fun. No, I'm not saying you don't try. Thank you, Brandon, for that. But sometimes, we don't see that thing come out of you. And when it does, it's like incredible for all of us to watch. Is there a switch that you suddenly can throw that makes you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, his name's Tony.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Usually it's people that cheer against me. I love it. And that's about it.
But you bring up a great point. You versus Tony, there is nothing better than watching you against him, the way he responds to you, the way you respond to him. That really does bring out the best in you, doesn't it?
No.
That is not a true. That is not true. All right, this interview's over. All right. Congratulations, guys. Great job.
All right. That was great, man. Hey, this has been an incredible first day of foosball. The qualifying matches were incredible. These guys have played each other in qualifying rounds. We got to see them early rounds. We got to see them. We got to see Tony and Ryan. Tony and Eric beat them in the qualifying rounds, and then we get to see what happens later on when they play each other again. Great stuff.
It's great as a goalie he is. He's just not a good interview.
He's going to say whatever anyway. He's not even going to say what he means half the time. It's fun, though. He's great, man.
He's always competing, even against the guy that's asking him
That pass right
questions.
there. That pass right there is a new wrinkle in his game that he's really elevated in Europe. It's a weird-ass pass. And then here's Ryan just, like, powering the ball through. You can't stop. You can't stop what you can't see. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how is Ryan able to do that, right? No one else can do that, where you're going up against great players, right? Yet still he's able to beat them to the punch.
Jim, so what happens is he's such a threat to all the fundamental clear, square conventional shots. You can't block everything. No. So when he misexecutes, it's still heading to the goal at 100 miles an hour. What are you going to do?
Better than the table, I guess, is kind of what it is, right?
Sometimes he is, dude.
It's like the table isn't built to where they can. It compensates for what he can do on the table. In that match, what did he score? 7, 8?
But think of it this way: Eric's in the right spot.
Yeah.
He's in the right spot. He's blocking the 3/4 and the long. He's not out of position. He's on. And Ryan's he misexecutes, and you just can't. Like I'm a flipping rookie.
Yeah, you are.
You're gonna react to the nonsense. You're gonna anticipate this guy's probably not gonna hit the ball the way he wants it to go. With Ryan, you gotta assume he's gonna hit it where he wants to go, and he's gonna get you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just not. It's just.
It's almost not fair though. It's almost not fair, and that's just a testament to the greatness of a man who is not a very good interview, but an incredible player.
There's the finishing shot, man. What a ridiculous. What were you going to do there? He shot. It ended up being a split.
No.
And you had to have both men basically.
And even Tony just.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's great. And I mentioned it with Ryan in the interview, and we talked about it on the air. But any time that you have Ryan Moore versus Tony Sprademan, it is just fascinating, right? Because it's at this super high level where only those two guys can relate to it, right?
Right.
And all we can do is watch, and we can analyze, and we can look into it.
Right.
But it is at such a level. It's like it's like Djokovic and Nadal. It's like
Federer adding like this super grandmaster, super master, like this whole upper tier. And just imagine the beautiful time we had when we had Ryan and Tony and Billy and Fred playing at a level above everybody else.
That was about 5 or 6 years of just this. And we didn't appreciate it at the time. We just kind of took it for granted. And now we look back on it and we see what incredible era that was to have those four. Yeah. Legendary players for the top 6 or 7 players of all time.
But we get glimpses of it, and we get up and comers like Brandon Munoz and Tommy Yore and Kevin Romero that can rise to that, eventually rise to that level.
However, I asked Ryan the question, right? What brings that out in him? And he said one word for you: it's Tony.
Yeah.
When Ryan is going up against Tony, there is a certain rivalry that just brings out the best in both of them.
Well, they're stressed to get to the extra. Whatever the 11 is, right. When there's a 10 and there's an 11, and these guys are bringing it out of each other in ways that really no other people do.
It's a lot of fun for us to watch, though, that's for sure, and of course, to commentate. And speaking of commentary, we've got a full day of it for you tomorrow as well. That's it. tonight. We're looking at what, not even 11 o'clock.
Let me end on this note. Look, this was the first time we've ever done a production with Foosball TV with us together, and the purpose of today was to work out the kinks, to figure out what the
That's all
weaknesses
there was.
were, to understand like sound checks and instant replay, and for a first day, man,
I still felt like it was really
I'm
good.
Completely,
It was really good.
We need to send these guys back to Germany. No, just kidding. It's been flipping amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we
For
got
a
3 more
first day,
days.
super great.
We got 3 more days with these guys.
We're probably gonna do the
It's
same
super
thing.
fun.
If it's a protocol here, we're gonna probably do semifinals behind our paywall, but we'll get finals, championship matches. I think that's what we're gonna continue to do. So we're excited to cover with the best streaming technical production
best
in the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. All right,
Yeah,
that's
man.
it.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Foosball TV, Inside Foos, come back tomorrow. Please close us out.
We'll see you, Foos.
All right.